Alcohol is in decline. Alcohol is in
that.
rapid, permanent decline, they're saying.
Yes.
There's just a lot of people out there who just don't want to drink alcohol anymore. It's very, it's very detrimental to your health, to your decision making, obviously. And so some people are going towards psychedelics. Some people are just doing drugs. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but alcohol has become it's in decline. And so what you're seeing along with that is you're seeing a lot of very alcohol dependent scenarios also decline. And that means super clubs, because there's really no way to want to spend that much time in a club, like a super club, without being under the influence. It's just not so I think the trend will continue to push towards lounges, places that you can have conversation, which is great. And of course, like, we live in a world where everybody wants to have they want to be in an aspirational scenario. Everybody wants to be at the place that you can't get into. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of the thing. And right now that's membership clubs, but it is also even behind the rise of Delilah, for example. I mean, Delilah in Vegas, I believe Delilah in Vegas is the #1 producing restaurant on the planet, right? I could be wrong. This could be completely off, and it might not be like, I think a lot of places will list Mila in Miami. I mean, we're talking about $100 million annual establishments at this point. Like, it's insane. And I love Mila in Miami as well. It's a fantastic restaurant, lounge, bar, club, everything. But it certainly feels like people are moving away from clubs and more towards lounges, speakeasies, and places that play music.
You would make a fortune if you started your own.
I would love to. I wouldn't. I don't think it's outside of my
No, I think
wheelhouse.
it's perfect. I think it's
that's serve burgers there,
dude.
That would be insane
with your network,
and
who you have behind you. Oh my gosh! I mean, it would be crowded day one.
I
no other influencers doing
that. It's funny you say that, because we almost just did one to house 1010. They wanted it to be a combo of like a bar and 1010, and we didn't do it simply because it was here. We didn't like the location. But certainly, and also, like, that's like the weird situation to be in now, is like the access to capital, like, for creators like at this level is just insane. Because I was excited to come on the show today, and it's because, like, I do see all of the stuff. Like, I see all of the back end that, like, the world doesn't usually hear about. But, like, there's a lot of these companies right now that have a ton of funding to, like, buy perpetual ownership of creators. Like, I'm sure you guys have probably either been offered or know
I've been
them.
offered, but the offers are so low when you look at, like, the payback period, which I understand for a creator could go to 0 overnight. So you have to.
But what are you talking, like 15, 30 years? Are you talking about the length of the payback period, or the length of which they own?
No, I'm talking about the length of the payback period. So it's like, I would be better off just taking my ad revenue for 12 months.
Right.
And, like, take a buyout offer.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is they do it in the event that you need upfront capital.
Yeah.
And the obstacle they're up against is when they're coming at people that don't have needs for upfront capital. There's only a few people who spend all of their money on their business. And like, truthfully, like, even with Jimmy, like, we'll see where it ends up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see what there's all these people out there that want to count everybody's paper billions. You know what I'm saying? Who knows where it goes? Who really knows what happens? You know what I'm saying? Now, for Jimmy, it's going to work.
Oh, yeah.
His little experiment will work. But for other people who are just dumping 100% of their revenue into their projects, like, it's not always going to work. You know? And so, there's just so much capital out there. Like, that's the one thing that, like, is the easiest thing to get. Like, it's the hard thing to get is operational acuity, expertise. Like, dude, the reason why Prime is not because they had somebody that was willing to put up $20 million. It's because they got operational greatness in their partner. You know what I'm saying? In Congo, like they got the best in the world. They got world-class operational support, manufacturer, distribution connections.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to who you're working with, and how the passion for the project actually works. 1010 Burger works because I care about that burger like it's my child.
Yeah.
It is the best burger. It really is. I am obsessed with it, and Logan is obsessed with Prime. Obsessed with it. He wakes up, it's the only thing he thinks about and talks all day about. So that's a part of it.
It was cute, by the way. I had some gardeners who were redoing my front landscape, and they had their kid with them, and the kid was maybe like 5 years old, 6 years old. And anytime I have someone at the house, I offer them, I say, hey, can I get you waters? And I just happen to, do you want waters? I got Prime. And the kid, oh my God, his eyes lit up. And the mom was like, you have Prime? And I'm like, yeah, I have Prime. And the kid was like a big fan of Prime. Like that was his thing. And I brought out Primes. And there was a new flavor that I don't think was in stores yet. And I gave that to him. I'd never seen someone so happy. And then I said, do you like Feastables? And he's like, Mr. Beast? I'm like, yeah, Mr. Beast. And I brought out candy for him. They were so excited.
Yeah.
It's so excited.
It's crazy. Yeah. I remember, that reminds me, during Halloween this year, I have a neighborhood that gets thousands of kids. Like we probably bought 4,000 pieces of candy and we ran out with like 2 hours to spare. And I remember I had a bunch of Prime because they keep sending it to me as well. Like, keep sending it. Thank you very much. But I remember I would randomly pick like one out of every 20 or 25 kids. Like, all right, come on. What we're going to do is we're going to play a game. We're going to throw a piece of candy off of the top of the staircase. And if you catch it in your basket, I'll give you a special treat. And it was a Prime. And when I gave it to the kids, they would freak out. I was like, it's a drink, which is great, but I don't know what it was, but like, I don't know. And then everyone started talking about it. People would like try to sneak back in.
It's lightning in a bottle. I mean, truthfully, like what happened with Prime is not to be replicated. It's how it worked and it's like it's a combination of things. It's like I said, it's the marketing acuity, manufacturing capability and distribution connections to get to retail, to do all that stuff and do it right. It's the marketing, the day-to-day marketing, the short-form marketing, the storytelling that Logan and KSI did. But then it's really more than anything else, it's like, have I identified a hole in the marketplace that really has a yearning to be filled? Who knew if that was going to... I don't think anyone on that team thought that product was going to do more than $20 million. Dude... when they started talking about billions with an S in sales, like it's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing to imagine where that product has gone. And it's because all of those three things checked out. There was some sort of desire within the or ability to disrupt that sports drink or hydration space that they filled.
Yeah. But it's such a strong brand that I think especially kids really, really, really resonate with. Like I remember, speaking of Jack's candy, Jimmy sent us his candy, but it was wrapped in $100 of cash. And he sent it to give it out in Halloween. And so what we did for fun is I took the candy bar out. So it's just the cash.
And then you took the money to the blackjack tables.
And I tripled up. No. So in the giant thing of candy, we have a wad of $1 bills for $100 and then the candy. And we just let the kid pick. The kids never picked the money. They would pick the Mr. Beast bar over the $100. Now, I'm talking like they're 4 years old, 5 years old, whatever. But there's a few times where the parent was like, are you sure you want that? And I'm like, yeah, the candy. Are you sure you... They picked the candy over the $100.
Yeah, but then we had some like older trick-or-treaters that were like, 14, 15. And then we would like hold out the money and they'd like take the money.
But it upset me.
Some kid with a mustache came up and I'm like, okay, like what do you...
But you know what? It upset me how ungrateful they seem. Like they would just take the money and then no reaction.
I think they were in shock. Is that like, they're like, there's no way this is real.
No, but they would take it, look at it, put it in the bag, thank you. And then it's like that wasn't just a candy. That's $100 in cash.
No, kids are losing. I mean, dude, look at they're losing track of like, it's like I go online nowadays and the storylines around how much everybody's making, which you see all the time, and they're so wrong. I mean, they are so wrong. I like, it's like DDG posted this like funny screenshot last week.
That's not real.
Not even 1/20th. He doesn't even make, like, you know what I'm saying? Like $12 million a month. He's making $144 million a year in ad revenue. And every kid that read that was like, oh, wow, like that's a good month for him. Bro, what are you talking about?
I was surprised people believed that.
All the young kids, they've lost track of like not lost track. They never learned what money means or how much is realistic or whatever. It's like, you know, like once again, I'm not going to pocket watch DDG, and he makes great money, but he doesn't make $12 million a month. I would assume if he has a great month, he might make $400,000 on a great month on Twitch.
Be a little bit more.
Maybe.
But you know what?
Is he on Kick?
But it's good marketing.
And he's great. I was just on stream with him last. DDG's great, and he's a great creator. But dude, come on, they're just too young to understand what those numbers mean, and they're too brainwashed by those big deep numbers and contracts that are real. Like when you find out, when you find out the size of a Steph Curry contract, now that type of stuff makes sense. You're like, well, wait, dude, like if Steph Curry has a contract for, $250 million, then certainly like,
DDG
Neon is making $100 million. Like they don't understand like the deviations between the how much people are making.
I just remember there was a period of time where it was a few months, and I saw like so many Twitch streamers had their revenue leaked like 10 times
because it's just all
it's
a
clip
thing.
farming.
Yeah, it's farming. That's all it is. That's all it is. Just farming. And it's
so those weren't accurate because some of those I saw
I think
seemed
they were
very
accurate.
believable.
Yeah, I think they were accurate, but like I think it happened like 5 times in 1 month with like the same creator. He's like, oops, and he's like screen recording something, clicks on like a browser, and then it opens and it shows like $400,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
in a month.
Like that day. It's like,
but
it's
some
like,
of
dude.
those are obviously inspect element, and they go and like change the number.
Well, that's and you can usually see it, but they don't understand, But yeah, the product side and the CPG side has gotten crazy, and it's like it's seeing like what happened with Alani and just all of these creator products is just crazy.
Were you able to get any percentage ownership of Prime?
No, I have a verbal guarantee that I will be made whole, and then I was given equity on Lunchly, which is great because Beast is involved. It's a great product, but the Prime joke, as it is seen now, wasn't always. I mean, it was a sore spot for me for sure. It kept me up a lot of nights, and it's a heavily protected cap table with less people on it than you could ever even imagine, and it just didn't work for me. It didn't work out, and it wasn't even Logan that said no. You know what I'm saying? It's just an unfortunate situation, and
What do you think being made whole means?
I think it means, you have been a part of the journey, and you post it whenever you can, and you share it, and you connect people, and you network it for people, and you support it. And most importantly, it's in front of you on every episode of a show that you co-own, and is responsible for probably 1/4 of the impressions that have driven the brand. They're gonna be fired up, man. No, I'm just kidding. I believe that there will be a retribution there for it. I truly believe that.